Welcome back to the IBFP. Here's your host, Boxing News.
Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. Let's just dig right into it. This is another edition of the Q&A with the IBFP. So let's just dig right into it. The first question comes from Warlord. He states Canelo Alvarez versus Sergey Derevyanchenko. I have Canelo sailing and working the body. How about you, Warlord? I think that would be a very interesting matchup. Sergey Derevyanchenko presents a couple unique problems. He's a short, stocky guy, so those guys are very difficult to contend with. But Canelo Alvarez's defense is sharp and crisp, and Canelo Alvarez has a lot of power and a great chin. And I think that's going to be ultimately too much for Sergey Derevyanchenko. I think Canelo Alvarez will methodically pick him apart round by round, and by anywhere from the 8th to the 10th round, he stops Sergey Derevyanchenko. But that's just my opinion on it. Thank you so much for your question. The next one comes from Wasi Rahman. Has any of your views on boxing change after the passing of Dadashev, whether it be Mexican style, people talking about getting a body on their record or anything like that? Yes, I think that someone that would say that they want to get a body on their record is a complete idiot and a moron. I just don't think that people should look to intentionally get a body on their record. That's a very tragic situation. Great question. The next one comes from Abdil Sukut, and he states thoughts on a potential fight between Nery versus Inoue, and I think that'll be a fantastic fight. Nery has power in both hands, and Inoue is a monster who looks incredible. So I think that'll be an amazing fight. At this point, I just really hope it happens. At this point, though, honestly, I just can't pick anyone over Inoue. But let's just keep it going. Spiral Sonicking 2018 states, I've been thinking this for quite a while, and I think that Canelo's maximum weight, he can go up to his light heavyweight. What do you think? I think that, Canelo Alvarez's max weight should be 168 super middle. I don't think he should really be going past that. I think 175 is too big for Canelo Alvarez. I think select opponents he may be able to compete with and beat, such as a Sergey Kovalev. I think stylistically it could match up right, but I think even that is going to be a difficult fight for Canelo. I just don't see Canelo Alvarez needing or being a 175 pounder competing at that weight. I think it's too much for him, too draining and too strenuous on his knees. I think 160 and 168 should be where Canelo Alvarez stays for the rest of his career. A great question. Derek Lee states, with Bud staying with Top Rank, do you feel he'll get good fights to finish the rest of his career? I really do think so, Derek. And I think the reason why is because Top Rank is so eager to work with other promoters. They've already worked with, Matchroom Boxing, and they're reaching out to the PBC. And I think that they'll eventually snag one of the big fish because they're going to make a tremendous offer to one of these guys. They're already offering pay-per-views with Danny Garcia and Errol Spence. So I can see that that those guys over there are going to offer someone a huge amount of money, overpay someone just to get a fight, just to get the buzz, and then they'll eventually get all the bigger fights. The next one comes from El Gallo Fino, says, who do you think would win between Derevyanchenko or Jamal Charlo? And I think that'll be an interesting stylistic matchup, but I think Sergey Derevyanchenko would win that fight because Sergey Derevyanchenko is younger, as far as younger than Matt Korobov. And I think that Sergey Derevyanchenko is going to present a lot of unique problems for Jamal Charlo because, if he struggled with this, Matt Korobov, and he had to go to distance with a guy like Brandon Adams, who's a natural 154 pounder, Sergey Derevyanchenko will hurt Jamal Charlo at some point in that fight. So I think I would have to favor Sergey Derevyanchenko at this point. Jose Yepes states, Maurice Hooker versus Jose Ramirez prediction. And with the passing of Mad Max, do you think Wilder has a change of heart of him wanting a body on his record? We'll start with the Hooker Ramirez prediction. I think it's a very good fight, a closer fight than many people think, but I'm going to edge Maurice Hooker with the unanimous decision. I just think that, he may be a little bit fresher, looked a little bit better in his last fight, but I wouldn't count out Jose Ramirez, but I'm going to have to go with Maurice Hooker in this particular fight. As far as the question in regards to Wilder stating that he wants a body on his record, I don't think so. I think Deontay Wilder is who he is, and he knew, what he was saying before anyone actually got hurt. But let's keep it going. Twinkle Kicks 718 states, would you rather see Broner versus Keith One Loss Thurman or see Broner versus Danny Not So Swift Garcia? And you know, the funny thing about this question is I think Danny Garcia still has star potential. I think Danny Garcia can come back and become a world champion again. He has the power. He has the boxing skills. He needs to work on his speed, and he also needs to work on his work rate. If he changes those two things, he can be a champion again one day. But at the end of the day, as of right now, I would like to see Adrian Broner versus no one. I just don't like Adrian Broner at this point because he doesn't let his hands go. He doesn't make for interesting fights, and he's constantly losing. That's not a fighter that I would want to see fight on a continuous basis. He can just go fight anyone. I really could care less. I just would like to see Keith Thurman versus Danny Garcia in that potential rematch to see if that works out good, or Keith Thurman in a rematch with Manny. I could see Danny in a match with Mikey Garcia. There's a lot of exciting fights, but Adrian Broner versus anyone is not a fight I ever want to see. But once again, this concludes the part 1 of the Q&A with the IBFP. Please share, like, and you must absolutely subscribe.